Vonovia. This is Germany's biggest landlord. Ticker symbol is VNA. It pays a dividend once per year, and the last dividend I've received was for €1.66 per share. So Vonovia, like a lot of European stocks, is having an awful time at the moment. It's 60% down for the year. However, by the looks of it, their debt seems to be not great, but decent, and their profits seem to be quite good. So we'll have a quick look at them. So they're a Germany-based residential real estate company, and their business is divided into three different segments, which are rental, value-add business, and sales. So the rental segment, this combines the business activities which are aimed at value-enhancing management of the properties. The value-add business is kind of self-explanatory. It's just value that's added on to the business before it's being offered to the customers. But it comprises customer-oriented services which are related to or influence the rental business. And the sales segment is the sale of individual plots of land or individual properties. But these are both come from the company's portfolio. So the individual sales, they come from the privatized sub-portfolio, and the sales of entire buildings or entire pieces of land are from the non-strategic and non-core sub-portfolios. So it's quite a large business. It has 15,000, close to 16,000 employees. Its current market cap is €16.7 billion, has a PE ratio of about 3. Current revenue is €11.3 billion. Earnings per share is a healthy €7, and its dividend yield is a very high 7.88%. Now it's not too high, in my own opinion. I think between 3 and 5% is the safe sweet spot. And the only catch is that it only pays once per year. So it's not really what a lot of people would desire for a dividend stock, but it is on a big discount at the moment, as a lot of Europe and the UK are, especially the UK after the mini budget that they released. But I think that Vonovia is looking pretty good. So over the last year, their profit margin is about 24%, which is pretty good. And over the last quarter, it's 42%. Their debt to assets ratio over the last year is about 69%, and over the last quarter is about 68%. So it's not fantastic, but there is much bigger companies that have much worse debt. And in real estate, now this is just my own opinion, but I think in real estate, a lot of people would, if you say bought your own house to then rent out to somebody else, you could use that rental income to pay the mortgage. So I would imagine that a lot of the business model of real estate companies involves quite a lot of debt. And their annual cash flow from operating is €1.8 billion, from investing is negative €19 billion, and from financing is €18 billion. Vonovia was founded in 2001, and this graph goes back to 2013, so we get a fairly good long-term history of it, but it's quite a scary graph at the moment. So this is where it is now. €20.97 per share, which is about where it was in 2016. So it has gone back quite a few years of growth. But I think I'm going to put, when I get paid, I'm going to put a little bit of money into Vonovia because it's down quite a lot. And I think that it would be a good price, but not for a massive investment because can't really be sure what the future will hold for them. But they are Germany's biggest landlord, which you have to keep in mind. Nothing is too big to fail, but you have to keep in mind that they are a fairly large company, 15,000 employees, and their financials are looking decent, I will say, considering the awful circumstances. Now, one thing we do have to keep in mind at the moment is that the Nord Stream pipelines have just been, I think, sabotaged, but let's just say out of operation, and that's the link for natural gas between Russia and Germany. So that now no longer exists. There's a lot of uncertainty about what's going to happen. I know a lot of people will not be turning the gas on. So we'll see what the future holds, but be very careful and do not throw everything in here, all of your money in here now, thinking that, oh, well, it can only go up from here. It can always go to zero. No company is too big to fail. So Vonovia has a 52-week high of €52 and a 52-week low of €20.38, which we are very close to at the moment. So it's about to be the cheapest it's been in a year. And over the long term, the dividend history Because it's only once a year, we can't really get a huge amount of detail, but they look to be raising it every year, which is what you want to see. It only really goes back to 2014, so you can see that every year it goes up by a little bit, which is what you want. It's not fantastic by any means, but I think if you have the ability to invest in different places, different countries, that I think that you should consider it. But overall, by no means fantastic, but it is quite a big yield, dividend yield of 8%. Profits are decent, earnings per share is positive. However, things are very uncertain at the moment, and it is only the beginning of what's probably going to be an awful year, or an awful couple of years, for the global economy, not just Germany's. But hopefully it's not too bad for everybody, and make sure that you don't ever invest anything that you cannot afford to lose.